wolves, 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 stammered Bjorn as he was buried under a pile of snarling Canis Majoris. While the team dithered, Onas once again disregarded his own safety to snatch Bjorn from literal teeth of death. A shocking grasp stunned the wolf, but just before Bjorn and Onas could dispatch it to the great puppy pound in the sky, a blunder of epic proportions by Hjani almost spelled disaster. After the encounter, everyone suddenly felt far more competent, although Bjorn was lacking in one vital commodity: blood. However, the team rallied around to stabilize him with some lovely, soothing balm. They then set off for Tor Jassa and found a cabin guarded by a pair of hobgoblins. The team then hatched a plan to take down their wart-encrusted foes.
But are they situated in a way where I can do rapid shot?
Not at this range.
Okay.
Let's see what you can do.
All right. So I just try to hit one of them then.
Okay.
11 plus 8, 19.
Okay. You send a far shot arrow up into the air. There's a moment where it's sort of like flying. You all hold your breath, and what's the damage?
1d8 plus 1, so it's an 8 plus 1, 9.
Okay, they're standing there talking, not listening. Bjorn is almost there. There's a audible into you guys, a slight pause, and then one of your arrows just comes from a downwards angle right into the sternum, and he just drops dead, and the other one looks at him in surprise, at which point Bjorn comes running out from his hiding place to backstab the remaining one, to sneak attack. It's happening. This is the plan.
Yeah,
and,
fine.
Again, AC
my
13.
AC 15 from on.
I'm not doing anything. I don't know what he's
What
talking about.
weapon are you going to use?
Yeah, I'm gonna go short sword.
Not
in this
dagger.
guy.
Yeah.
Short sword. Okay, you run in. What's your now you've got another +1 onto your bonuses, right?
Yeah. So it's a +2 attack bonus on this short sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna stab him.
I'm going to give you flat-footed and flanking, so you have to beat 11.
Great. All right. So that's a +2 attack bonus on the short sword. Sneak attack. That's an 11.
Good roll.
12, 13.
Okay, so one is felled by the arrow, and you just melt out of the grass beside him and just plunge your short sword into his back. So you have sneak attack 2d6. So it's 3d6 damage, right? Do you have a strength bonus?
No.
So it's 3d6.
3d6.
Yeah. His hit points is 7, by the way.
So that's 6. It's 11.
Okay. The arrow whistles through the air and takes out the first one. Then Bjorn comes out of his hiding place, stabs his short sword right through the back of the second one.
And as I do that, I say, "Knife to meet you."
I'm done. I'm going back to the plains.
I quit.
You didn't hear that.
I would have quit.
He's
if I
gonna
had.
tell us.
One of our plans
No,
was
but then I yell out, "Hey guys, I said knife to meet you."
We want
Now-
our bomb
now you
back.
hear it. Now
Where's
you
that
hear
bomb?
it.
Give it back.
The DM approves of that line. The DM approves that
Fucking
line.
hell.
In fact, he approves it so much.
No, don't do it.
No.
Don't make it the title of this show. Don't.
No. Well, you know what? I think it's got to be. I think it's already decided. But also the gods of the rogues bless you with a 2 hit point healing bonus. That was a well executed, awesome plan.
That was pretty good. Well done, guys.
I
And,
feel it lacked a lot of decapitation, though.
Yeah,
I
or
don't
making
feel
people
enough people have
sleepy.
been
Well, they were
chopped in
waiting for
half.
somebody. So
Well, I may have
they didn't
woken
get a
up
chance.
somebody inside with my yelling of, "Hey guys!"
You by the way, Bjorn, you look in the sort of cabin door, which is ajar. Okay, you glance in, you see it's empty. I mean, it's literally just an empty wooden space with some straw filled mat beds on the floor, and it stinks of hobgoblin odor, which is because they do shit where they eat and stuff.
What shit did they do?
They just shit all over the
Oh, I
place.
thought
They
you said
don't
do
dig.
shit.
They don't
Like, I
dig.
don't know what kind of
They
shit
don't.
they do.
They're like barbarians, you know. They,
Excuse
I thought
me.
you meant like sexual shit.
That's right. Of the monster world.
So I immediately don't see what the hell they were even here guarding or watching.
Well,
out
they
for.
just, you see that they appear to be just, they obviously know that this is some kind of a post that other people may use, and they've just been, well, you don't know why, but here's the thing, they were worth altogether 300 points.
Nice.
So you each got like about 80, let's say 80.
Yeah.
So this is a Tor Jassa outpost, do you think?
That's.
Guys?
You do
guess,
appear to be
yeah.
there, yeah. As you write down your points here, something interesting happens with Hjani.
What?
Which is just between me and Hjani. Because at first it goes on in her head, and then it progresses something else. You guys just...
Should we cover ours?
Yeah.
While you are checking out the post, Hjani, you feel a bit weird and lightheaded, and you walk off to the back of the post, and behind you can see the rise continues up, and there's lots of rocks, crags, and caves sort of up there, and you feel a bit weird, and you get a taste in your mouth like the blood poppy again. And then everything starts looking a bit red and hazy, and your head's spinning a bit, and then but then something weird happens. It's not just that your head's spinning and you feel weird. You start getting like almost like visions or like some weird feelings. You see a picture in your mind of a beautiful female elf warrior, not unlike yourself, and not unlike the daughter of the Prince Callus, who you recently saw standing on the stage, the Frostbitten. And you get this sort of like vision in your brain. Something is like drawing you up, and you start walking off by yourself to these sort of like crags up above. You guys haven't noticed this at this point. And the whole time you've got this sort of like red blur around your vision, and a feeling of like, you almost feel like the blood poppy is like coursing through your veins and causing you to like have these visions again. And you sort of follow up, and you start sort of wandering off. And you notice that from a certain angle, there's like a cleft in the rocks, and revealing a sort of cave. And your visions are sort of leading you through there. And you enter, and it breaks out into this room. Now, from back down on the cave, by the cabin, you'd never see it because of the angle. It would just look like a rock face. But when you... Why is Adam like trying not to laugh? Is it because of the word cleft?
I was wondering what shape the cave opening was.
He made a vagina shape.
Okay, it's not drawn down.
And you said cleft. It was a combination of cleft and a vagina
that
shape.
That is purely from the imagination of Adam there. So anyway, where was I?
Cleft.
DM makes notes. Which character's going to die? Yeah, no. So you enter, and your dark vision reveals to you a sort of a surprisingly dry and quiet cave. You go in there, and the sound of the rain is gone. And there is a sort of a rock throne at the far side with a something sitting in it. And it appears to be a sort of long dead ranger or elf or someone sitting there, sort of partially, their skin sort of stretched over, partially mummified. And across their lap is a sword in a scabbard. And at that point, you sort of like wake up and come to your senses.
Well, normally I kind of feel gross about touching dead people, but can I, just take a gander around, use my, what is it here? It's not perception, it is spot?
It's a very, very small cave. There's nothing in here apart from this person, this long dead person sitting on this stone throne with this sword across their lap.
Okay, so I use this scabbard of my longsword to kind of poke the knee of this dead person.
As you do so, her knee drops off at the bone, hits the ground, and the sort of shreds of clothing on it immediately disintegrate into dust.
Okay. So I I tiptoe up and kind of gingerly touch the sword.
It's real.
Great. Okay, I grab the sword.
Okay, you remove the sword, and like as you do so, the bony figure sort of just like basically collapses into a pile of bones and dust in front of you and around you, and you're left
not to breathe.
You're left holding this sword, which you see that the pommel, the circular pommel at the end of the handle, is inscribed in Elven with the Elven word frost.
Oh, neat! Do I get a magic sword? Probably.
You're talking to yourself in a cave right now.
I better get out of this cave. I think I'm going crazy.
You were definitely led here by sort of visions brought on by imbibing blood poppies or something
goodness.
weird and magical. Yeah.
Wow, everyone should do blood poppies.
Drugs are good.
Yeah, and the message of the podcast is, kids listening at home, drugs awesome.
Yeah.
Gives you magic items.
Exactly.
Visions.
It leads you to places you never thought you'd go.
That's all poppy-based drugs we're talking about. So, elf elixir. What else is there?
Okay, Hjani, you exit the cave back out into the daylight, and you see the sword actually in the light is in remarkably good condition. The scabbard sort of made of leather, and it does seem a bit cracked and dry, but the sword handle itself looks pretty good condition.
Can I take it out to examine it?
As you draw it out and the blade hits daylight, you feel a sort of slight vibration in your arm, and the shining steel blade, as you sort of draw it and hold it out, immediately becomes covered in a sheen of magical frost, and it looks ice blue.
Awesome.
You guys still haven't even noticed she's gone yet, by the way.
Yeah, we're happy about the amount of straw we just scored from that. There's so much straw, guys. We're made
going
it.
in decent proposal.
That's it. Let's
right
spit
now.
this up.
Hjani, this is a longsword +1 frost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I just named it directly after the power, which is really bad DMing. But yeah, longsword +1 frost. What that means is, as well as it being a +1 to hit, +1 to damage magical longsword, it deals 1d6 cold damage upon impact.
Huh?
So 1d8 plus 2 is my normal longsword damage, and then plus another 1d6.
So basically, if you attack with it, it's an extra +1 to hit than what your normal longsword would be, and an extra +1 to damage. Oh, plus 1d6 as well, yeah.
Holla! See, this is why you all should have stuffed poppies into your mouth.
Are you back yet?
Who are you talking to?
Oh, and by the way,
myself.
what's your intelligence modifier?
0.
That's okay. Roll to see if you can beat 12, like the minimal non-bonus level, basically.
14.
Looking over the sword, not only does it remind you of the frost blade that Karnatani, the Frostbitten, was wielding when she was beheading those 5 guys. Now you think about it, it looks pretty much like exactly the same.
Oh, weird.
Like the design of the pommel, the sort of the cross and the design and the length and weight of it. Now you're looking at it and you're like, this is like this is like almost the hand. It's exactly the same. Like the look of it. I mean, it's exactly the same. Yeah.
I think I'm destined for elven nobility. I think this is what it means.
Still talking to yourself.
I am still talking to myself.
Walk further, we're gonna find.
We're having a straw fight. We're throwing straw.
Hjani arrives back at the cabin.
Hey, get in here. We're having a straw fight. Come on. Woo.
Where have you been? There's so much straw.
Woo.
I'm a scarecrow.
She's back. She looks woozy. She's holding a sword. A new one.
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
where did you go?
Into a cleft.
Oh, really? What did that cleft look like?
Whatever, I got a sword, guys. Look at this cool sword. Oh, there's elven runes on it, right? Onas, you read elven runes.
Hang on, let's have a look at that sword. Draw that sword out of its scabbard.
Ooh, oh my goodness.
Its blade becomes covered in a magical sheen of ice blue.
Hey, I'm the ice guy around here. I'm the guy who goes on icing things. I think maybe I should take that sword.
I don't think you can actually use it. It's a martial weapon.
Good point. All right, what's the rune? Let's have a look.
It's normal elven language, and it says frost.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Hjani, this says frost. It's the basic word for frost in Elven. There you go.
I was busy studying how to shoot things in the head. Okay.
Rather than reading. Yeah.
Read a lot.
It's a frost sword.
It is the morning. You are at the outpost at the beginning of this rise by what is marked on the map as Tord Jesser.
Right. Wait, it's morning. It's the same morning, or did we just sleep?
No, you woke up and you've walked up here in the morning and fight, so it's mid-morning.
Step down there.
Also, you know that Tor is just a Tor in Elven, and Jesser in Elven means spring.
Are all these T's on this map tours?
That looks that way.
Okay.
But I can
okay.
not confirm nor deny it until you visit a second one to confirm.
Oh, what's the Lohikami Vori?
That's a good point, right? You're reading that in Elven, right?
Yeah.
The first word means dragon, and the second word means peak. It means literally dragon peak.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, what's your survival?
Oh, my survival is it's but my wisdom, which is a whopping 1.
You got to get a 15.
All right, here we go. That's 16. Is that 18? 16. 17 total.
You trek about a bit, and you surmise that these hobgoblins came up from the north. From the north of here. They came from the north of here, so they headed...
From the hell pits.
Yeah, from the direction of the hell pits on the map. Yeah.
What was the other tracks that you spotted?
Yeah, there were two.
There
There were two big.
I spotted 2 big, like...
So it's probably those
probably
guys
those
as well.
guys, yeah.
But they came down from the north. But we haven't spotted any of these, like either the Ranger group
No,
tracks
because
anywhere.
they kept going up.
No,
the
but
wolf
one
country.
group went that way. There's 2 groups of Rangers out here. One is the.
We didn't see that
Yeah,
other group.
we've lost.
We didn't.
They,
But
as
we
far as
heard
we know,
they
they
were
never
here.
crossed the river. Yeah, we didn't see.
We don't
didn't
know.
see
We
them.
haven't
only
got any
saw the
evidence.
one track that belongs to.
I think we have to
Hjani,
assume they're
T2
out
and
here
her.
somewhere, though. They could have gone willy-nilly
Hmm.
anywhere.
I think we should start heading towards the hell pits then.
Why? Where all the hobgoblins are.
Well, maybe we might meet up with this other ranger
We
group.
might get more straw. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, might as well.
Sounds nice.
First though, let's search the hobgobs. What do they got?
Yeah.
They have got 3 copper pieces, and they each hold a spear and a light wooden shield.
Fuck this.
And there is some salted, cured meats of unidentifiable origin in the cabin.
We've got loads of meat
Yeah,
rations
we've-
from the pre-mantis.
Yeah, I don't
thing.
want
We don't
any,
need any
of
of
this.
that.
I don't
Any
even
of
want
that
their copper
filth.
pieces.
Nah, leave them. Leave the.
So you follow the tracks, right?
Yes.
The tracks north.
Okay, you
Yeah.
head
Yes.
north, descending back to the general heath, and you see, following these tracks, that as soon as you get back down onto the moors, the main part of the moors, the tracks immediately turn, and there's a lot of tracks. It looks like there's been other people of the hobgoblins joining them backwards and forwards here. The tracks seem to head due west. You're heading. Looks like they're going to be sort of heading in front of that thing marked as the rim there. Yes, that's right. They're all heading that way, and no tracks go on north. As soon as they get back down off this
Okay.
off this tour, they seem to head due west.
So the hobgoblins did not come from the hell pits.
Do we want to track the hobgoblins though?
I don't think
I
they'll-
feel like they're
I
just
think
going to
it's-
lead us to more hobgoblins.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would lead us to the
I
new
think
team.
what
Other team.
Hjani was saying is probably a better idea if we now head north to see if we can cut off whatever the
Yeah.
Hjani's group who went north.
Yeah.
Possibly,
So
yeah.
to be clear, instead of like tracking some enemies that you've got on the trail of, you're going to go after the other crack team, and that's who you're going to go after, right?
Well, the only enemies are
Likely after
hobgoblins.
As far
the
as
same
you
thing
know.
that we are
Yeah,
right now.
we're not here to kill hobgoblins. We're here to find a prince. Although maybe the
In
hobgoblins
fact, we didn't even know hobgoblins
exist. Well, we knew they existed. We didn't have
we
any.
can.
beat-
I guess
we
we
don't-
can communicate with them. We can ask them if they know anything. If we track
Yeah,
them
but we're not
down.
going to get all the way to the Misty Mire that way. I
But
mean,
we-
That's about
Hobgoblins don't
2 days
talk.
march to the Misty Mire.
when we could just go to the hell pits, like I said, good at this time of year, and also we know that we'll be cutting off by trigonometry. We'll be cutting off.
That's if they
the
carried
one
on
group.
going that way. We don't
Why
know
did
where
they-
they went.
If they've got a day on you and they keep on going, you will basically never catch them. But they might have stopped and camped somewhere.
If it's Yanni's group, they would have stopped and cancelled.
Yeah, and they were so terrible about leaving trails as well. Let's go up
Exactly.
there and see what's going on. And hell pits, come on.
I kind of, I haven't cut anything in half so far. I would kind of want to cut some hobgoblins in half. But if you guys want to go to the
Just
hell pits,
Try to cut a wolf in half. I'm sure we'll meet more of those.
Yeah, just
They were
ask
tougher
Bjorn
enemies,
to
anyways.
walk
Track
out into
I'll
the-
hold it still.
Yeah. So we're going north.
Notes.
You head north in the direction of the Hell Pits. According to the map and your experience so far, it must be about a day's march, which means it's going to be falling into darkness by the time you get there. Now, as you cross the moors to the north,
Wolves.
no wolves, no, nothing. You're fine. You have a clear march. You managed to get at least 20 miles done,
Oh,
Ooh.
good
and
march.
Good
and
march.
you arrive at the next destination as darkness falls, unmolested, and you start to arrive. I love saying the word unmolested. You seem to arrive at what seems to be the Hell Pits, and let me explain what they actually are. This is a place in the moors where there's a series of underground caverns, really long ones, some a mile long, have over time collapsed. So basically they're like sort of like limestone or hard rock gorges. So the sort of soft, peaty ground of the marsh and the gorse sort of reaches the ends of these things. And like looking down into the first one, they're sort of long, thin, like chasms, but sort of smaller. But looking down, they're a good sort of like 10, 20 stories down into the ground. They sort of got like rocky sides. And at the bottom, they're kind of largely water-filled. But the water seems to be sort of like coming out of somewhere down below and draining out again. So there is a series of... So basically, there are a series of collapsed caverns, these sort of natural features, and they don't look very hellish. They look very like beautiful and amazing. You're looking out over these moors, and there's these huge, long gorges, essentially. What you do see, as the light is fading into twilight, is the far-off twinkle of a campfire about another mile off.
Ah, well, guys, I was wrong about the hell pits being fine this time of year. They're not hellish at all. They're just
Not even Clefty.
gorgeous, not even clefty. But there's that thing glistening off in the distance. Twinkling off in the distance.
You guys want to do a...
Can we get that?
You guys want to do a sneak?
Yeah, I think we should go and do a sneak.
You want to sneak?
Yeah, sneak.
Sneak.
Sneak,
All right,
sneak.
How far off is it? Sorry?
Looks like about a mile.
All right, I'm going to sneak a
And
mile.
light is faded. Okay, so light is fading, making it even easier. So technically it's a 12, and what's your plus?
Sorry, that is to move silently.
Yeah.
Why can't I see it right now? It's a +8.
So you could take a 10 and just do it.
Oh, yeah, might as well. I'll take a 10.
Or we could just roll that dice for the sound as well, assuming that you've already succeeded. I just want to hear the dice roll.
I took a 10.
You took a 10.
And we don't need to talk about what I just rolled.
Yeah. Okay, Bjorn disappears into the fading light and the mists of the moors.
Good job, Bjorn.
Bjorn, you go ahead, and after about, 10 minutes of sort of like run, walking, keeping down, silently getting there, it's fading and fading. You see Hjani Kitu and 6 meat shields sitting around a campfire. The 6 meat shields seem to be completely out of their minds on something, laughing, joking, swaying around, falling flat on their faces, falling into the fire and having to be pulled out, like just talking nonsense. One of them is just standing back to the others, just sort of talking out into the ether. Hjani Kitu's sitting on a rock by the fire, just sort of like laughing cruelly at them, just like having the time of her life, thinking it's hilarious, and looks completely sober. They have a couple of tents up in the background, and after a quick look around, they appear to have been here at least like 2 days and not moved. There's like rubbish lying around, bones, all this stuff. That's what you can see.
That's what I'm saying to myself right now. I'll go back and tell the group.
No, you don't have to. They're not like, it's up to you. You have options. You sneak back. About 40 minutes later, Bjorn returns, and it's now getting pretty dark.
Guys, it's Hjani Kitu and a band of...
Hjani. Okay,
Yeah.
Hjani, not Hjani.
Okay. It's Hjani Kitu and a band of six meat shields. They're all fucked out of their minds. I don't get it.
You know what? Now might be the perfect time to strike.
Oh, wait,
Strike?
What?
I mean, well, just kind of kill the meat shields and then
Wait,
see. She's fucked us over a couple of times.
But we shouldn't
I mean,
kill her meat shields. The meat shields.
oh
haven't
look,
done
you have to
anything.
get over this meat shield thing.
She's
What has a
just
meat shield ever
she's
done
a glory
to you?
hog. That's no reason to
Oh
fucking
my
kill her.
goodness. Is this because she said you were boring?
Yeah, is this because you got spurned, son?
How about this? I put her to sleep and we subjugate the meat shields with some kind of you scare them. And then we can tie her up and ask her what the fuck she was doing. Aren't you annoyed that she like usurped our story and our glory and she's spreading all this shit about us?
Well, look, I came up with a plan to stop that, and nobody followed it.
Oh,
so
here we
I'm
go.
more
Oh,
mad at you guys.
you're chicken. In honor of this
I
day we're
am-
on now, I'm going to call you chicken.
I think we just march in there and ask her what
Yeah,
the hell was going
yeah,
on.
we
I
just
think
have
it's
to
fine
get
just
down to the
march
bottom of
in
this.
there.
Okay.
And let's make detailed notes this time. So
Yeah.
we can report back.
And
to
get
you.
her to sign everything in triplicate and keep copies. I'll copy this
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean, she's not that hard to beat into submission if we have to, but I'd rather not.
Okay, this
Let's
is all
try not
new.
to
I
kill
dislike her.
the hero of the.
Yeah, I'm not really.
I said we could put her to sleep and tie her up and then we could...
Guys,
That's
let's
a
sneak
little
over
bit-
there.
It's getting dark.
It is getting dark. He's going to tie people up and put them to sleep.
Hey guys, I'm going to stay here. Good luck on your full frontal attack. I'm staying here.
In the distance, back the way you came, as the sun goes down.
You're-
Yeah.
I'm
the
coming
far
with
off
you
Let's
guys.
go to the fire. Let's go to the fire.
Coming with you guys. Good plan.
Okay, you arrive at the campsite. Now, you said you're going to sneak up, so how are you going to eventually enter?
No, we're just going to march right
Okay,
in
That
there.
was my stupid.
You
dumb
walk
plan.
in, you see, sitting on the rock, Hjani Kitu with her cool, shaved up one side, undercut hair, her earrings, her athletic demeanor, the sword on the back. She is cool, but, you've met her. So, and the meat shields are just falling over each other, all kinds of antics. She's like laughing, and then you approach the firelight. Now, the light's faded out. The firelight's lighting up the area. You fade in. One hand goes onto a sword. She looks up. Then she sees you. Then her expression relaxes. And then she addresses you. Oh, it's you losers. What the fuck are you doing here?
What's up, Bellend?
Hey, that's my line. What the fuck? Like, what did this? Oh god, this screws my plan. Jesus.
Time for some
Who's
Hjani
Jesus?
on Hjani action, I think. Hjani, I think you have some stuff to say.
Jesus, yeah. Okay. Sit down, enjoy the fun. This is hilarious. I dosed all their drinks yesterday with so many poppy seeds. It's like 48 hours and they're still under.
Wait, you can watch this for 48 hours?
Well, I've slept one night and stuff, and had a bit of I hunted a rabbit, but this is just so funny. They must be getting better.
What are you even doing here?
Well, okay, I'll come clean. We got here a day ahead of you and the other team, and we saw these tracks. We checked out the ranger station on the map, but it seemed that, someone's occupied it and was waiting for us. So what I did is I thought, well, we'd head north, make a camp, have a good time, let you guys go first, and then kind of give you a day to get ahead, and then follow you, and then wait to see what you do. And then, you know what you know me, you met me. Come on, guys. I mean, you're not supposed to be coming this way. You're supposed to be going the other way, and we're going to follow you tomorrow morning. But then you fucking turning up here. What the fuck's going on?
Why do you think we were going to go the other way? What's so good about the
I don't
other
know. There
way?
was some. I didn't see who, but there's someone. I saw the light. There's someone up in the.
Well,
it's
we
not the
went
other
there,
team. There's someone
and we
like
drew
staking
the-
out our lookout.
Who is the other team?
Oh, that's that dickhead. Oh, Bjorn, you'll know him because you're from our town, Linaki Raka.
Mm-hmm.
He's called Nicholas Trass. Now that name rings a bell with you, Bjorn. DM note: he is notorious in the human quarter, although he's an elf. And you remember what type of elves hang out in the human quarter? Do you?
From
the last
time.
the Bohemian elves.
Yeah, the hipster Bohemian suit. Now, so Nicholas Trass, to be a famous guy around there. He is also someone from he's like really distantly noble. Like he's not noble enough to be given respect, but he's like 6 times removed from one family. He's this guy from a big city he was assigned out here to like get him out the way, and he's like super hipster melancholy. He's got all the elven tattoos. He spends all his time in the human quarter, like taking all kinds of illegal substances, writing poetry. But he's also quite a skilled fighter and ranger. But basically, he's famous for like bending everyone's ears with like his long narrative poems about the void and the meaningless of life and the long
Is this
hate all
the
those
douchebag more? Like, why are all of these dicks and this more?
And anyway, Hjani Q says, I'm as surprised as you when I heard he's taking a mission. He's not bad of a sword for all his behavior. He's not bad of a sword. I respect him, but so I don't know why he's taking this mission unless he thinks it's a suicide mission or something. That's his thing, romantic
He's a
death.
goth.
Romantic. Yes.
He's a goth
That's
elf.
the term. I've heard that before. He's a goth elf, yeah. Anyway, I don't know where the fuck he is, if you know where he is. But I mean, the thing is we were hoping one of you guys would get up and check their outpost, and we were going to follow you on, but you followed me here. I don't know. Anyway, enjoy the campfire.
It just
Have
was
some
so
rabbit. I got some rabbit.
bumbling about on this fucking moor. Where
Hey,
are we
did you
going?
see these hell pits things? It's like this is like a painting, isn't it? It's like beautiful. And
She's here. She doesn't know what she's
nature is a
doing.
great artist,
Oh,
guys.
have you got any leads on the ornithopter? I mean, why did you come through into this moor anyway?
Oh my god, are you still talking? So are you finished now?
Yeah, look, what are you doing here? Why?
I just told you what I'm doing here. We're like waiting for you or the other team to.
But
to
why?
Go.
I mean,
We're here now,
everyone's-
so what's your plan now?
Yeah,
so we can catch up with you after you've done the front work and then take the glory.
What front work? What glory? No one knows where the fucking ornithopter is. No one
Of course
saw
not.
it. There's
it
no
flew
one.
away.
Yeah, exactly. So your plan was to bumble out here and wait for someone else to bumble past you, then follow them bumbling along to like some fucking. I mean, this is nonsense. This is idiocy.
Dude, you've got ears. Look at us. We're elves.
Let's just get the fuck out of here. This is pissing me off.
I
Let's go.
want to talk to Bjorn. He's cool. Hey Bjorn, what's up?
Hey.
I got this. I just got this rabbit on the spit here. Do you want to eat some of this rabbit? You look like you could use a meal. You know what, Bjorn? Hjani reaches into a bag. She whips out a jar of balm. This is the good shit. I've got the good shit. Stick
loves
this on your
balm.
wounds. Stick
Is
this
this
on
gonna
your
be
wounds.
dosed bomb?
What? No. Hey, this is healing your wounds. You look pretty. You're pretty bad.
Hey, it wasn't so bad when I got dosed, so just
Dude, are you going to use it or what? You need sorting out. Look at you.
Yeah, give me that bomb.
Okay, awesome. Okay, you apply the balm. Roll 1d8. This is the good shit.
6.
That's a 2.
You get 2 points back. It works, and you don't feel dosed.
All right. But I wouldn't know, because I've never taken this stuff before.
It seems much like the bomb that
Didn't
you
we take
have.
a little bit
except-
of stuff at the Ranger school just to we asked them what
No,
it's
we
like?
didn't.
No,
They didn't
never.
let us in the end.
You notice at this point the meat shields are all sleeping where they fell,
Right.
loudly
You know-
snoring.
Well, okay, so
Let's not hang around.
I'm gonna
I'm-
go roll the meat shields into recovery positions.
yeah.
Hey, watch the
But
fire,
also-
guys. We need this fire to keep the wolves away.
Said you wanted
You
to
gotta
talk
make
to me.
fires. Yeah, Bjorn, what's up?
Can I talk to Onas while?
Yeah.
Look,
Okay, what do
you
you
seem
say
like-
to Onas?
I kind of whispered to Onas, okay, we might as well like stay here because it's nighttime. But after
you
the
think-
morning, do you think you can cast sleep on her or something like that?
You think this is just stupid? What the fuck's going on? Why?
Look, she started a fire. We might as well use that damn fire, and then in the morning, just cast sleep on her or something.
Okay, but you're with me on this shit.
Yeah.
People just bumbling about doing. We've got no
Oh
direction.
no! I
Fuck this
find
shit.
that terrible.
Yeah.
My training just makes the entirety of me cringe
All right.
at the thought of people doing nothing. But at the same time, yeah, there's not much we can do right now.
Let's do that. Or you know what? Those meat shields, they're all out of it, so we can tie them up in their sleep. I'll cast sleep on her, and then we just all get out.
As a DM, can I take it as read that you are going to, in the morning, put her to magical sleep so you guys can make your own plan?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so now, while you're off doing that, so Bjorn, why are you still hanging out with these losers, man? And the rest of you, so this is talk, Seyda, you're in earshot, but Onas and Hjani are having your side, so this is actually quite useful for you guys because you can make your plan. What's up with these losers? Why don't you join my crew?
Hey, I've gotten really attached to these losers, and they're not without their uses.
Can I ask you something, Bjorn? You've got wounds. You're in pretty good shape. Like, did you find anything up at that outpost? Did you seen some action? What's going on, man?
2 hobgoblins. They were there waiting for us. We captured one and interrogated it about
really?
if they saw where this ornithopter went.
Bjorn,
This is bluff time.
can I?
No, you can't, and
I
you
thought I
wouldn't.
was in
You wouldn't
earshot.
as a you are in earshot, but you wouldn't undermine your party members directly.
This
like
is
that.
bluff time.
Yeah, you're doing bluff, and hers is sense motive, right? So it's a okay. So she's got.
You can't tell us.
No, I've got a sheet for her. Sense motive. Okay, I'm going to make a roll for her
Go
on her sense motive and tell you the number. Then you've got to beat that with your
right.
bluff plus thing. So she rolls that number and her bonus. So she gets 10 in total. So you have to beat 10 to successfully
All right,
bluff
I've
her.
got a +4 to my bluff. Just gonna move some things out of the way. so
And then we
get
just
that sweet
continue the
sound.
same conversation. I'll just play it based on this. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we caught a hobgoblin, asked it some questions. I roll a 12 +4, that's 16.
Okay, keep going. She saw. Really, you what did it say?
Oh, it said that
That's awesome.
It said that there were reports from other hobgoblins that that there were sightings of the ornithopter making a landing.
Where? Which direction?
Actually, in the wolf country south of the hell pits, where we already were, oddly enough.
So, oh my god, I must have tracked right past it when I was fucking with the meat shields.
Obviously, we did too, but we wanted to find you because we need your help on this.
Wow, that's weird because I guess that area of wolf country is about, looking at this map, like at least 20, 30 miles wide. We could easily have tracked past a single object.
Ornithopter in a haystack. Tell me about it.
Okay, so
Haystack.
what's the plan, man? Like,
Well, I think tomorrow at daybreak we head back there, but we split up because we can cover more ground. Each of our teams can just split up, and we just go and search wolf country for that ornithopter.
that sounds perfect. That's a plan. Now, you guys are welcome to sleep by the fire, and as well as this rabbit, if you'd like, I have this soup.
Thanks, Hjani, and you sleep well.
Okay.
Sleep very
I'm going to
well.
sleep over here. Here's some
Very
soup. Here's some rabbit. It's very nutritious. You'll
Sleep.
you'll feel very well
You're
rested.
feeling sleepy.
Good night. So she goes off to sleep, and you start to
You're feeling very
wind
sleepy.
your charm.
I wipe her brow tenderly.
Here's the thing, right? What
It's
Onas?
part of the spell.
Oh God!
Onas, what's your charisma bonus?
My charisma bonus is +3.
So spell saves are calculated by 10 plus the spell's level plus your relevant magic bonus, which uses charisma. So it's +4 altogether, right? So
Okay.
14. So I'm going to roll this. You won't know, but this roll's going to determine whether or not she does actually wake up in time tomorrow, or
Okay.
if you're going to just keep her utterly unconscious for the time. Okay, I have made my roll. And is there anything you want to do before you go to sleep? Because they're all sleeping now.
I don't think we need to. I think
We can guarantee that we'll be up before her and her band, right?
Maybe. If it worked, yeah.
we'll be up before the drunk meat shield guys for sure. They're just
Still do a watch.
Okay, would anyone like to
Alright.
eat rabbit or drink soup before you go? Or are you going to eat your own rations?
I'm
and
gonna
start?
eat my
Yeah,
own
I'm gonna leave those
rations,
alone.
Our rations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, you leave them alone. Okay, you camp for the night, and the fire seemed to have kept the wolves away, and no one seems to attract you. So you wake in the morning, and you notice that the meat shields are out of it still and snoring away, and Hjani Kitu is very, very asleep.
Okay, good.
Magically so.
All right. I'm
She's
assuming
gonna be
that
out for,
I've
like, the
told
rest
you
of the
guys
day.
at some point about the bluff that she's going to go back. All right, let's write her a note, leave it here saying that we've already went off without her down south to the
Why
wolf
write
country.
her a note?
Can we give her a little
Yeah,
kick
just
So
tell
she
her
doesn't
that-
believe that we've just up and left her.
Yeah, tell her that
We've
she
headed
was
down south
sleeping
ahead of her.
heavily.
We'll meet her
Yeah.
in wolf country.
And also, can we leave like a toothpaste moustache over the top of her lip?
Sure. Okay.
Okay,
That's fine.
I do that with my predestination.
But where do we actually want to head? Do
Good
we?
question.
You know, now that I think about it, I should have probably told you how I got this cool ass sword. I mean, it was interesting that nobody asked me about it.
Tell us whilst we
but-
walk.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
that's our
Yeah.
fault.
Okay, but which direction are you walking before Hjani tells us the story?
Where are we right now?
We're
We're
kind of
here.
we're near the hell pits, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we're around here-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess
You
We
are
go back
at
to
the
the
west,
gardens.
the
There's
west end.
something
On the
about
west
it.
end of the.
Yeah.
All right, there's something about my experience that makes me feel like maybe we should have followed those hobgoblin tracks.
Oh, now you tell us.
So, well, I had a night to think about it, you know? I was really excited about this sword, you guys.
That's a good sword.
And also wanted to know like what was going on with Hjani Kitu. I didn't realize she was going to be as useless as she ended up being.
Okay,
So, yeah. So basically, it was on like some incredibly, what's the word? Ephemeral elf person? Ashen elf person? I touched it and it exploded into dust. But it did give me the sword. And if you notice, the sword kind of looks familiar, don't you think, guys? Don't you think?
Remind us.
We all saw the execution, right?
Oh, the executions. Yeah.
I guess I do pay attention to like, you know, what weaponry people are using. But
It just looked like a sword to me. But this is you're saying this sword
Well,
was used
it
by
looks-
the executioner?
it looks exactly the same.
So
I mean,
that
I don't know.
Right down to the shimmering icy blue blade
Right
when
down
drawn.
Didn't
to
notice
the
that.
I see shimmering blue blade.
What
Wait,
about
wait.
the
Shing.
and so what about the corpse that you molested? What happened to that? I mean,
yeah, we're walking while we're talking, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you
'Cause I
are.
want to get there and immediately.
It's the next morning and you
explore
are
that
heading
cleft.
west, yeah.
Yeah.
So was that corpse? Was that the executioner?
No, because it was a long dead ranger elf.
Maybe we've
Hmm.
gone forward in time.
That's a possibility.
Maybe
This
we're
is
gonna
the
come
date
across
for
the
it.
head of the Statue of Liberty in the sand.
How are those wolf bites?
What's
We're
that?
just
What's the Statue of
holograms.
Liberty?
I don't know.
Hoverboards.
Is my nose bleeding?
Hoverboards,
All right.
Back
Flying-
in time.
flying carts in the
Hjani,
sky.
anything more to add about your story before you go?
Yeah, well, that was a great
Please,
story.
nothing more. Like,
Oh,
it-
so
No,
okay. Can I ask
it's awesome.
you why that makes you think we should follow the hobgoblins?
Well, first of all, because this is a dead end.
Well, this was but it's still not a reason.
And second of all, because, you know, it just, call it a knack.
The DM
A
wants it
knack.
to be known that you could have gone any direction from here, and although I made a point about saying you were going to go north, there was
3 or 4
something
times.
legitimate to find there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and Hjani Kitu even wanted us to go that way, anyways. So
jeez.
Yeah,
This-
call it more than a knack.
call it a hunch.
Okay.
a knack.
You spend all day marching west, and you're entering this area in front of what's marked as the Rim, and you immediately see what that is that, and this thing must be like 50 miles long. It's an escarpment, so the rise is coming down, the rocky rise, and it just drops off like a cliff, but the cliff is perfectly scooped out, you know, really like in a perfect curve, and all across the bottom is rubble and scree, like a scree slope, and it just stretches off as far as the eye can see, and it's really big. It's like you know, taller than the tallest tower in the towns that you're from. This huge sort of naturally scooped out cliff stretching off in the distance, but next to it where you are, the moors are completely covered in really sort of brightly coloured purple lilacs and heathers. so that it all looks like a sea of sort of purple grasses and plants ahead of you. And at this point, Seyda, what's your survival?
My survival is 5.
Okay, so make a DC 15 check.
14 plus 5 is 19.
You pick up the hobgoblin tracks again.
Yay!
As you enter the this area. Now you're sort of back on tracks. Yeah. Okay, so and you've been marching a whole day. So you've entered again. It's coming back to the evening. You've entered this area in front of this huge long cliff and this sort of these purple looking slopes. And you've picked up the hobgoblin trails heading west again. Now you've still got a couple of hours before you lose light. Any specific actions, or are you going to just continue?
I'm sorry, we're heading west along the rim right now?
Yeah.
Don't want to climb the rim?
You're actually like, here's the thing, you're actually a couple of miles in from the rim, but it's just so big you can just like see it to the side of you stretching away.
Okay. I'm just checking.
It's only a little bit hazy because of like winds and mists and stuff, light mists on the ground, but it's not like certain places in the far future we might be now where you just can't see fucking far in landscapes.
Right.
You can still see things like peaks and cliffs in the distance looking sort of all hazy and majestic. This is a really huge, majestic sort of inland cliff stretching away.
So wait, you said nighttime was coming on?
You got another couple of hours of marching light, yeah.
Okay. We march on.
Let's march on.
But sorry, was there anything we wanted to do?
I guess we follow the tracks.
Anything right now. I just have one question while we're marching. What's the range on a short bow? That's one thing I forgot to ask.
Yeah, that is
110 on a
something.
long bow.
Yeah, because once you what I'm going to tell you in a moment will be the range number, and you can shoot over that. But for every, like, say it was 100 feet, for every next 100 feet, you take a penalty each time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. So it's not limited to this range. It's just you'll get penalties. So while I look that up and you're marching along, what is Onas saying to Seyda to keep her awake?
Don't go to sleep. This is the reverse of my sleep spell. It's called the Peels spell.
That seems like a little bit like a lullaby.
Yeah. That's the only genre of music I'm really au fait with.
Lullabies.
That and elf goth.
I would like
Kind
some
of
elf
into-
goth
Would you? I think
Yeah.
we might get to experience some elf goth
when we meet up with Nicholas
with
Traff.
the goth elf. Yeah, perhaps. Wake up.
And,
Stay awake.
and we're back. And the range increment for a short bow is 60 feet.
Thank you.
So after 60 feet, there's a penalty, and then another 60 feet after that's another one. But within 60 feet, there's no penalty. Okay, so you make camp at the end of your march, and are you going to take the usual watches?
Are you healthy enough to do a watch, Bjorn?
I want to sleep again.
All right, I'll take the watch because that went well. And I'm going to conjure up, this time it's going to be a gliding frog.
Will you name it Kez?
No.
Okay.
Okay, during the night, I am going to make my roll to see if anything happens, since you didn't specify anything about fires, so let's see what happens as you sleep.
I specified that I'm sleeping.
I didn't say we were not making a fire.
I have rolled the number.
Oh, wolves.
You take your watches, and the night passes uneventfully, apart from the distant sounds of the wolves, but none approach you or pick up your scent. So you wake up in the morning and you start marching west again, following this trail. And across the day, the purple gorse gives back way, and you start to reach the end of what looks like the cliff. And now the ground is sloping down in front of you. The air is quite clear. The wind is blowing. You see the whole, like, several miles ahead of you as the ground really dips down. And what happens is, from the ridges on to the south of you, several streams and rivers are basically flowing down into a depression, and they're forming a huge mire and bog, which you can sort of see down below you, the entrance to it. So you're going to be descending into this place where the drainage is bad. All these sort of streams and rivulets run into it, and it's forming a huge sort of like mire on the moors. And this seems to be, it's named on the map as the Misty Mire. It is in fact full of mists. But you can see like 10 miles ahead of you at this point. It's like a majestic sweeping view. And you can clearly see two things, like down there in the mire. The first thing you notice is the sunlight seems to be, it's like a low winter sun, but there seems to be light glinting off a large sparkling object, sort of down amongst the mire. The mire has sort of twisted lone trees and stuff as well. It seems to be something sparkling. It's like about 10 miles away yet, like another half a day's march, but you can see sparkling golden off what clearly seems to be a glinting object.
So we can't have any
you don't know what it
idea
is,
of
but you can see
scale
that.
or anything. We just see
No, yeah, you just see that. And next to that is a column of black campfire smoke. So that you see there seems to be some sort of glinting object down there and some sort of like campfire or encampment. Not large, but like a single column of smoke down there. And it's the morning, so you can make that by lunchtime. But that's what you see down ahead of you, this sprawling mire that all this sort of water's going into and it's not draining. Mists, sort of weird knotted trees, and then you can see this glinting object like far off in the distance next to a sort of wisp of black smoke coming up.
Let's keep walking.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to see us. We know them. We've got the advantage, so as long as we're careful,
Let's flip our cloakies back to
mire.
To
Mire
mire mode. Set them from snow to mire.
Why did we turn them back to snow?
You didn't.
I don't think
Yeah,
we did.
we didn't.
You have never done that, yeah.
So.
How dare you?
They're pretty dirty.
Why don't you go back to sleep, Robyn?
They're pretty dirty.
Okay, tracking down the slopes across the rest of the morning, you're getting closer and closer. But in fact, as you get lower, your visibility is kind of going down. As you're entering the mist, you're getting closer to the mires, and the sort of cold rains are starting up again. And you get closer and closer and closer until eventually all the ground around you is starting to get boggy. And you can see that cutting a line between them are these sort of rocky ridges and sort of like mini versions of the tors poking out now and again. So you can kind of work your way through it on the dry spots, but it's going to be sort of like difficult and you're going to have to be careful. So there's rocks, twisted trees, bogs, and you're on like the raised ridges.
It's a classic mire.
Going between. It's a classic mire. Yeah, that's right. And you're sort of working your way through, sneaking around, and eventually you get within what you think is, a mile or so of this spot that you saw. And here is what you see. The mists part. There seems to be between you and this spot a massive big area where a lot of the trees have been knocked down, brushed aside, or broken, giving you a clear line of sight.
By an ornithopter.
There's water, sort of miry, like green algae, and it's like stagnant. The water's kind of fairly stagnant, bad drainage. You can see the black campfire smoke very clearly. You can see figures, more hobgoblins around a fire and tent. So there seems to be about 10 of them from what you can see. But the camp is made around a specific thing, the golden glinten object. What you see in the middle of the camp, half embedded into the ground, is what appears to be a huge golden bird.
Yes.
Is that one on top?
Is that an ornithopter?
No,
I have never seen one before. I don't know.
We saw it.
We saw the dust that was like...
This thing looks like essentially a mechanical bird made of gold.
It is.
And on where its back is seems to be a kind of spot for a few people to sit. But it actually looks like a replica of a bird. But it's huge. Its wingspan must be like 60 feet. It's like massive.
It looks like it crash landed there.
It's sort of like half embedded into the sort of swampy ground, yeah. And next to it, next to the twisted trees, there's a couple of tents and 10 hobgoblins that you can see about 10, sort of who've made their camp here and appear to be guarding it.
Okay, I turn around to the rest of the group and I say, guys, we got a gold bird down. Can't finish that.